So next up we have CC Answers. We don't have a lot of questions this week, which is nice because...
We had a couple at the end there.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's been our longest segment each week.
So this is... I think Update's going to be our longest one this week.
Yeah, so let's see what CC Answers says.
CC Answers.
So first question we have is from...
Once
it's
again,
at Retro Kaiser. I'm not going to try and pronounce his Twitter name. It's... Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty good. So you're not going to try and then you did it.
I did it, yeah. So, at Retro Kaiser, he says, what's the worst port of a great game that you have ever played?
The worst port of a great game?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VI on the Game Boy Advance.
Ooh, good answer.
A lot of people say it's a great version. Celis does not get slapped.
At the beginning.
Well, the first time you meet her, yeah, she's all tied up. She gets slapped in the Super Nintendo one. They don't slap her. It's like they corrected it, I guess. But
so, P2 is upset that there's no...
context, man.
No domestic abuse.
Do not mess with context. You mess with context, you ruin the game. Anyway.
No, go ahead.
That's it.
I'm still thinking.
I'm done. I can think of some more, I guess. Let's see here.
I don't really know. I don't think I play all that many ports. Oh, Skies of Arcadia. Can I count the original? Skies of Arcadia on the Dreamcast was a bad port of the GameCube game.
That is the original!
After.
Well, the Silent Hill remasters of those ports? I don't know.
Yeah, I enjoyed Silent Hill 2 when I played the PS3 version, so...
Yeah, they definitely ruined a lot of atmosphere in Silent Hill 2. But if you hadn't played the original, you would know. It'd still be good.
I don't think I played that many ports. I don't really have an answer for this.
I don't know, man. I'm sure that there's plenty that I'm letting everybody down.
Yeah.
I don't like that they changed that in Final Fantasy VI.
I could say Final Fantasy IV on the DS. They switched up the sprite graphics for polygons, and they're all sort of like...
Yeah. You know what?
And I don't like that.
I can
But
understand
they added voice acting, which I did like, so...
Yeah. It's probably the only game I liked that chibi style. Probably because of my attachment to the characters.
Yeah.
It was just nostalgia, I'm sure. Because what they did for Final Fantasy 3, the original 3, Japanese 3, and I hated those graphics. So
yeah, so I don't really have an answer for you. I'm sorry, Retro Kaiser, but thanks for your question.
Right. Can't wait to get chewed up about Final Fantasy 6.
No, you're right. Next up, from Julian Vega at JJ1986-2004, which he answered. It's his birth year and his graduating year.
Ah, very good, very good.
So if the Cartridge Bros and Cartridge Bros P2 were my wingmen, and this gamer needed help, how would we pick up the ladies?
Man, you came to the wrong guys.
So what I would suggest, Julian, first off, we'd find out what you're good at, something you're strong at, so you can display excellence. So to pick up a woman, there's three things you need to do. One, you need to get them to have interest in you. So you need to be interested. All of this is assuming that you are genuinely interested in this woman, and you're not just trying to pick her up for a one night fling. I don't condone that.
You do you.
You bunch of man whores.
All right then.
So find somebody you're interested in. Get her to talk. So just start by talking to her. So if I was your wingman, what I would do is I'd be happy to introduce you or sort of throw that connection. Or hey, how you doing? Have you met my friend Julian? And then you need. I'd set you up to look really good. So we go play, a game of pool or badminton or water polo, something that you're decent at, and then I would let you win because it shows that you have excellence.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. And I would just, I would say nice things about you. I would, but they would all be true nice things. And then afterwards, I don't know, man. I'm really bad at this. Do people still do this?
I don't know. I'll tell you what I did. You just hang around them for a lot of time, like 3 months straight almost. You sort of like get into their subconscious, so you're around so much, eventually you're just there. You pretend you like coffee, so you take her out on coffee dates, but you're really just going to get coffee.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you sort of trick her into loving you, and then you get married and have a baby.
What I did with Colleen was, because we sailed together. She was married then, so we weren't together then. We were just friends. So after she got divorced, she started coming to our parties and hanging out with us and stuff. So I would put a nicotine patch on her when she wasn't paying attention, and then I would take it off. So that when she was around me, she would get this euphoric sense of being near me, And then when she was away from me, she would have these feelings of anxiety and withdrawal because the nicotine was gone.
Oh, how I wish you were joking.
And so eventually, over time, she thought that being around me made her feel really good, when in actuality it was just the nicotine from the nicotine patch.
Wow.
And then I eventually weaned her off of that. And that's what I did. So
Well,
I would happily help you find a girl that you like.
Yep, you came to the right pair.
A nicotine patcher. Thanks for the question, Julian.
See you, Julian.
Next up, we have Mrs. Q Dog at Mrs. Q Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Question 1. 2 questions. I like this.
Ooh, I like that question.
What is your favorite movie?
Ooh, tough one. I like 7. That was brought up earlier, actually.
Yeah?
Shawshank, probably my favorite.
Oh, yes. That's the generic man answer.
You know what else I like? Equilibrium.
Ooh.
How's that for not generic?
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say probably one of those 3. Oh, or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's a good one.
I'll go with that one instead. I'm going with that. Actually, I think I answered that on Retro Rejects.
Yeah.
For our quiz. So I'm going with that one.
That's right. So, favorite movie of all time.
Do you remember what you answered for me?
No.
Remember we had to answer for each other?
Yeah.
You said the Happy Hansel Gamer movie. Which I do like. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
My favorite game, my favorite movie, it changes. I could easily say High Fidelity, because that's a movie that I really enjoy. But lately I've been thinking it's probably more The Princess Bride.
Dude, that's a great movie.
And that is going to be my answer, The Princess Bride, because
I like it.
It's got action, it's got adventure, it's got romance, it's got villains, it's got it all. If you haven't seen The Princess Bride,
it's so good. That's Andre the Giant.
Really well done, yeah. A boy is sick. It's Fred Savage. He's sick. His grandfather, Peter Falk, comes over to read him a story, and it's a swordplay story, a fantasy story. And then the movie is the story, and then
what's the pirate's name again?
Dread Pirate Roberts. Yeah, it's really, really well done. Mandy Patinkin plays Inigo Montoya. Andre the Giant plays Vizzini. Robin Wright. She might have been Robin Wright Penn then, but I think she's just Robin Wright. She plays Buttercup the princess. It's a really, really good movie.
Oh, so good, man.
Yeah, so that's my answer is Princess Bride.
I can't even argue that. That might be.
In fact, I might watch it today.
Yeah, I might too.
And question 2. What movie do you not like, but is liked by everyone else?
This is a tough one for me. You're probably going to pick episode 7 or something. Yeah. I don't know. Do people like Vanilla Sky? I hate that movie.
I liked it.
I'm going to go with Vanilla Sky.
I don't know if it's universally liked, but
okay.
Good pick.
You know what I really like is Jerry Maguire.
Everybody likes Jerry Maguire.
I love that movie.
Who doesn't like Jerry Maguire?
I don't know. I was thinking of Tom Cruise because of Vanilla Sky. Oh, what's that other Tom Cruise movie that people don't like?
Top Gun?
People love Top Gun. Man, I love Tom Cruise movies. I don't even care. I even like his new stuff. I don't care what anybody says.
He's a talented man.
Yes.
He's crazy. He's a whack job.
A little strange.
I'm going to say Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I like that movie.
I say, now,
I don't hate it.
The term everybody liked it is loose because I do know quite a few people who also did not enjoy it. But that is the one for me. And I think with a few minor tweaks, it could have been something I enjoyed. So I'm going to, quick spoiler alert.
Oh boy, here we go.
So somebody dies. I'm going to just say who it is.
No, don't say it.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it with you.
All right. So, spoiler alert. Turn this off, come back in,
my gosh.
3 minutes.
Everybody right now is raging.
Why?
Because they're driving, they're like, I gotta get to my phone quick and pause this.
Well, now they've had time to do that.
Alright, fine.
So, in Star Wars The Force Awakens,
oh boy.
Alright, I won't use names. So, in the movie, somebody
Just use
dies.
initials, no one learns.
Somebody dies. And then the scene sort of moves on from that.
Yes, they ruined that scene. I get it.
A way that could have been better, that person, there's somebody else there who is friends with that person. If they had run out to save them, they see their friend die, blind rage, they run out to save them, and they get shot down by stormtroopers who notoriously miss everything.
That's a good call.
But instead, they're running across.
And you see him struggling to get closer.
Exactly. They're shooting, and then eventually he dies, and then the main bad guy walks over and just kicks his body off the bridge.
That would be a lot more powerful than what happened in the movie.
That happens, maybe I like the movie more.
Dude, that is a great...
Just, he screams, he goes running out there, he's blasting away.
Yeah.
The bad guy's like either deflecting or just stopping the blaster shots, and stormtroopers up on all the wings and all the walls, blasting down, and every single shot hits. Every one of them hits, and his body's just getting ripped apart by blasters. But the rage is so deep in him that he has to get out there and save us. And at the end, he's slumped. He's on his knees. He's dying. He's like he's got nothing left in him. And the guy walks over, and he doesn't cut him down with a lightsaber. He doesn't blast him. He just gives him a nudge with his boot, and he falls over the side with his friend.
That sounds amazing, dude. I am super impressed at that.
But that doesn't happen. That's not what happens. Instead, he just trades in his buddy for a new friend.
It's quite unfortunate.
And
it ruined that whole scene. It didn't have to happen that way.
He sees another person who he's been friends with for 40 years, or for 30 years, 20 years, and he shared the mutual friend who died. And when they see each other in the hangar, they have this moment of deep sorrow where they embrace and they hold each other and they just accept that he's gone. Oh, no, wait, that didn't happen either. They just walk past each other like nothing happened. She goes and hugs the stranger. So there was a lot of other things with that movie that I really didn't enjoy, that I didn't like. That is one change. That
would have been awesome, dude.
Just I could see it in my head.
You should do a director's cut.
Like, just imagine
Just
that.
dress up. I'll film. I'll be in there with you if you want.
That would have... So anyway, my answer is The Force Awakens. A lot of people really enjoy it. I realize it was made by a young director for a younger audience, and he excels at taking ideas that have been done and tweaking them for modern viewers.
I liked it. It's not my favorite one, obviously, but I liked it.
Just imagine that if that scene goes down like that instead of the way
that would have been amazing, dude. That would have been.
People talk about that for forever. You know what I mean? And it makes stormtroopers dangerous.
Yeah, it fixes everything in one moment.
Thanks for your question, Mrs. Q-Dog.
Yes, thank you very much.
Last,
these double questions.
Certainly not least, Ram Vox at the Ram Vox.
Ram Vox is back.
Says, if the two of you, Dean, Kevin, and I, let our powers combine, who do we become? So, I put a lot of thought into this.
All right. You got a picture up here? What are you doing?
No, I'm bringing up the club, so when I have to name three random things on the club, I have three in front of me.
Smart man. So we're talking like Voltron here, or
Voltron, Power Rangers, Captain Planet. So I gave it a lot of thought, and here's
kind of want to be Green Ranger.
Here's what I was thinking. So yourself and Richard obviously are the drifters.
We drift.
You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, maybe like a giant robot, like a Zord or a Zoid. Zord.
Zord. Zoid sounds funny.
Or Voltron, something like that, or like the Destructicons, maybe from Transformers.
Okay.
But I was like, but you two drift, sure, but the rest of us don't all drift like that.
Who cares?
The rest of us don't mix like that.
You guys can be the legs, the toes.
So then I was like, okay, let's think about, because obviously there's a reference to Captain Planet, your powers combined.
Yeah.
And I thought, so if we were Captain Planet, who would be who? I was like, okay, well, Dean Lasagna would be... Dean Lasagna would obviously be the heart.
Oh, yeah,
you would be Earth, because you're like the bedrock that the club is built on.
Okay.
I would be fire, because sometimes I rage out of control.
You do not need to explain that.
Kevin would be wind, because he's gusty. And and Ram Vox would be water, because he's calm, and he's everywhere, but if you rile him up, he's very dangerous. And then together, we are Captain Planet.
Dude, well done.
Cartridge Planet.
Oh, I like it. Wait.
So I thought that one.
Wait. Who's Captain Planet?
When we all combine together, we become Vintage.
We become Vintage is Captain Planet. I like it. I like it.
If you think about it, he's got the same haircut. He only shows up when he's got to clean up the environment.
Oh my god!
So that's who I was thinking of. Okay, well, if we're Captain Planet, we're then. So then I was like, well, if we're the Power Rangers, who's what Ranger? So
you really put a lot of thought into this.
I did. You would be the Red Ranger because you're sort of our leader.
I am not. I
figured. Dean would be the Green or the White Ranger because he sort of swoops in and saves the day just at the last minute.
Plus, he's got his own mech.
Exactly.
He's sick.
Yeah. Ram Vox would be the Yellow Ranger because he lives in Japan.
Yep.
What?
Nothing.
I would be the Black Ranger because
you live in Canada.
Because it's the same color as my soul. And Kevin would be the Pink Ranger. Because he's probably the most feminine out of all of us.
Who's blue?
Oh, is there blue?
Yeah, there's a blue.
Oh, maybe Kevin can be blue then.
He's not making him pink.
Oh, I didn't know it was a blue. I don't know Power Ranger.
Yeah, blue. I think it's like Billy or Jimmy or I can't
remember. But then I thought about it and I was like, none of us really talk like this a lot.
Well, speak for yourself.
So I wiped Power Rangers off the list. So then I thought about Voltron.
Man,
You would be red.
I want to be Keith.
You would be red for Voltron, Keith, because when you were a child, when my parents said we're pregnant, we're having a boy, he's going to be your brother. The first thing I said was, can we name him Keith? Because of Voltron, I'm a big fan of Voltron.
Really,
I wanted to name him Keith. They said no. We went with Mark. So you would be Keith, you'd be red.
All right.
I would be orange because he's the bigger guy. He's sort of jovial. Dean again would be black because overall he like sort of leads us and guides us.
Fair enough.
And then that would make Richard Pidge, which is the small green guy who's sort of like he's sort of like the technologically advanced one, which I find kind of ironic because Richard is happy living in 1986.
Yeah, when he is in Japan, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and that makes Kevin the blue tiger, whose name is escaping me right now, because he sort of pushes him and Keith sort of push each other to be better and they're always sort of competing with each other.
I like that he's blue again.
Yeah. So then I thought Voltron is really cool, and I really like Voltron, so I'd really like to go with that. So I was having a poop while I thought about all this.
Wow,
long poop.
That's a big poop.
That's a Burger King yesterday.
Oh my! Clear you out.
So when it came down to it, I was like, of all those analogies, Power Rangers I wiped out because I obviously didn't know it well enough. Voltron, I really wanted to pick Voltron because of the mech reference, because of how much I like it. But obviously, I have to go with Captain Planet because
it's the right choice.
Those descriptions fit us the best.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
So if we merged, if our powers combined, we'd be Captain Planet.
I like it, man. You really thought about this,
dude.
I didn't even know.
This isn't just some half-ass show that I come on here and say whatever.
I thought CC Answers was going to be really short this week.
It is. That was like 10 minutes.
It's all right. Thank you for the question, Ram Vox.
Yes.
Welcome back, my friend.
So that's the show.